You know, when you're fresh out of college, it's like you need a job and you need a job now, okay? Hello YouTube, I am back again with another video for you guys. So I want to do a quick story time on how I was able to go from intern to assistant director within a really short period of time. I told you guys I was giving out positive vibes, inspiration, all 2020. So I want to share kind of my story and hope that it gives some of you guys out there who are fresh out of college or making a career change or just simply, you know, trying to advance at your current job in your current position. I am in the car on my lunch break, so I do have to eat at the same time, and I just ran in Target, my favorite place to go. And I picked up a little roast beef flatbread sandwich with grapes. And there's a snow plow outside if you guys hear it, so sorry about that. And I also got some pretzels and roasted red pepper hummus. So I'm just gonna snack on that while I share with you guys how I was able to advance in my career really quickly. Fresh out of college, it's been kind of an easy road for me. I'm not doing what I would love to do, but I am in a great field and I have a great position right now. So to start off, while I was getting my master's degree, I was working part-time, and I was able to find a job. So my master's degree, I guess I could just share with you guys. My master's degree is in public health. So I was able to find a job in that sector. And public health is a really broad field. There are tons of different things that you can do with a public health degree. So I was able to find a part-time job in the public health field, not necessarily doing what I would have loved to do, but it was a job and it was in my field and it matched up with my degree that I was in the process of getting at the time. So I worked part-time doing that. While I was doing that, I was able to, you know, build relationships with the people who I work with, and that ultimately helped me in the long run. So when I got close to the end of my degree program and it was time for me to do an internship, I knew that I wanted to try and do my internship where I currently worked, but I wanted to do my internship in a different sector, not in the same sector that I was currently working in. So what I did was, instead of applying directly to the company for the internship, I drafted a nice little letter and I gave it to a specific individual at my job. And this individual was pretty high up at the organization. I'll just put it to you like that. So I slid a letter in his mailbox, and it was nicely drafted and it expressed my interest in interning under him. And he approached me after the fact, and he was really pleased with my letter, and he obviously offered me the opportunity to intern under him. So I completed my internship, no problems. I learned a lot. I was able to sit in on some things that I wouldn't normally have been able to sit in on, and it was a great internship. So it was a great experience. It was a great internship, and I was pleased with that. So once my internship was over, I graduated got my master's degree, and as soon as I graduated, crunch time, because I was only working part-time at the time, all through the time that I was getting my degree. And I knew that as soon as I was done, I wanted to have a full-time job. I really, really needed a full-time job. Like, it was time to start making the money. I didn't really have any time to waste. Well, had I had the opportunity to turn my part-time job into a full-time job, same position, I would have done that, just because that would have been an easy transition, and I wouldn't have had any lag time or anything like that, you know what I mean? So, but I did not have that opportunity. At the time, they were not offering a full-time position for that particular position. So I had to go on the job hunt. So I went on the job hunt, and of course, because I have a master's degree, I was able to find a job rather quickly. I'd say within like a month, I found a full-time position. It was in my field. It was in the field of public health, and it was actually as an epidemiologist, which is what I really, really wanted to do. So I was happy with that. And however, I did have a commute, so I was not so happy with that. But I did what I had to do, because, you know, when you're fresh out of college, it's like you need a job, and you need a job now, okay? So I took that position. So I would say a good 6-7 months into that position, someone reached out to me and was like, hey, you know, and this was off the record, you know, there's a assistant director job opening up at my old job where I had my part-time position and where I interned at. And they were like, you should apply. And I'm like, what? Like, I just got out of college. Like, assistant director? Like, what? So I didn't take it seriously, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, whatever. Like, I'm good. I'm good here where I'm at, you know? Good. And then that particular person, off the record again, reached out to me again, like a couple weeks later, like, hey, you know, did you apply? You know what I mean? Like, job's still open? Da, da, da. So I'm like, okay, this is serious. Like, this is serious. Like, let me, you know, actually think about this for a second, you know? So I thought about it, and I was like, I kind of weighed my options. So again, it was in a field that I didn't necessarily want to be in, but it was still in the field that my degree was in. So, you know, it wasn't like I was gonna take a job where I went to school for all these years and now I'm gonna take a job that doesn't even have anything to do with my degree. It was in my degree. It was just not the job that I had in mind that I wanted to do. So I started thinking about it, and I was like, let me weigh my options here and see what, you know, what makes sense for me. Okay. And so the job was closer. So I didn't have my commute. It was assistant director, and regardless, like, that's gonna look good on my resume, you know, whether I do it for the long haul or if I wanted to just do it for a couple of years and then switch over and do something else. After I weighed my options, I applied, and lo and behold, I got the job. Ultimately, what I think really, really helped me to make that move and transition so quickly was the relationships that I built. When you're interning or looking for an internship, I recommend not settling for whatever's out there. I recommend taking that process pretty serious and trying to get an internship somewhere where you can grow, where you can learn. And so while you're doing that, make sure you build good relationships. Make sure, you know, you're actually working during your internship. A lot of people will take an internship where they're like running errands and getting coffee and things like that. Don't let anybody do that to you. You may think that, hey, this is an easy internship. Like, all I got to do is get through this, run and get this coffee, and run and do this and this and that, and then I'm going to be good. And, I just get these hours out of the way, and then I'm good to go, and I can graduate. I recommend not taking on any position like that. If you're going to intern, I recommend, like, getting an internship where you're actually going to be learning something, and that'll help you in the long run. If they can make you be the errand person, they're not going to respect you in the end. So I wouldn't be afraid to say, hey, this is not what I want to do. I'd rather actually be involved in something. I'd rather actually do something. I'd rather actually contribute. Pretty short story, but I was able to do it. And I think ultimately what helped me was the relationships that I was able to build, actually having that degree. I do want to add this. A lot of people think that, like, having a degree is not worth it. But it's sad to say. It's sad, and it's like good on one hand, sad on another hand. But people actually look at the fact that you have a degree now. Like, when you submit jobs, it's like it's a requirement nowadays for you to have this paper, this degree. They don't even really care if you have any experience. It's sad, but it's true. And, it actually does help, because it used to be where, people would go to school for years and years, and now you're fresh out and you have no experience, and all the jobs are going to the people who have been doing these jobs for 20 years, you know what I mean? And you don't have any experience, so they're looking over your resume, and you're not getting calls back. Nowadays, it's the other way around. Like, I've worked a job where the only way you can move up in that job is if you have the proper degrees. They don't care how long you've been working there. They don't care if you've been there for 25 years and you're stellar. They do not care. If you don't have that paper to back it up, you cannot advance. Like, you cannot advance. And I feel, it's sad, because I feel bad. That's actually not really fair. If you've been there for 25 years, you should be able to advance. But it's sad, but it's true. It's just the reality of it now. So I think the fact that I built those relationships, the fact that I had that degree, the fact that I applied and didn't follow my first mind and not apply, because a lot of times we'll overthink it and be like, well, I don't have the experience. Like, there were a lot of things that I didn't have. However, I was able to convince the organization in the interview that I would, be able to do the job. So a lot of times you may look at the requirements of a job and be like, well, that doesn't really fit me. Like, I can't do this. I don't have this experience. Let me not even apply. You shouldn't do that. You should actually apply, because you never know. You never know. So the fact that I built those relationships, the fact that I had that degree, the fact that I took a leap of faith and I went ahead and I applied, and I was able to get the job just from that. So if you're fresh out of college, new into the work field, build those relationships. Build those relationships during your internship, at part-time positions, things like that. Stop in, talk to people, shadow individuals, even if it's outside of your internship, even if you're completed with your internship and you're looking for a job. If you know an individual at an organization, just say, hey, would you mind if I shadowed you for a few days, or something like that, and work on building that relationship with that individual. And that way you're the person that they're comfortable with, as opposed to an outsider or somebody who they don't know. They'll look at you like, hey, I know this person. This person came in and asked me directly for, tips, shadowing, internship, things like that. And it'll help you later on in life. If a position becomes open there, they know you. So let this be some encouragement for you guys who are fresh out of college or looking for a career change or anything like that. We often, we need jobs right away and we can't wait. But sometimes you have to give a little to get a little. So keep that in mind. But hopefully my story was able to encourage you somewhat, a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my lunch. I appreciate you guys for listening. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you're new here and you're not already a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Once again, I am giving out inspiration and positive vibes all 2020. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I post. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.